Falcon expansions. What's up, dogs? It's Cameron with Venus Theory, and in this video we're here to take a look at the UVI Falcon expansion called Spectre. So this is an expansion for Falcon that is geared more towards the festival, lighter side of EDM music, and it's very, very cool and comes loaded with awesome sounds. So when you buy Falcon, you get a $100 voucher that you can put towards any of the Falcon expansions. So I figured I would review a couple of these just so you guys can check them out and see what you think. So let's dive in and get started. Okie dokie, folkies. So in this video, we're here to check out the Spectre expansion for UVI Falcon. So this is an expansion that's geared more towards the EDM side, kind of the lighter side of things. I will be doing another video on Subculture, which is geared more towards the heavier, lower, deeper, nastier side of stuff. But Spectre is a really cool library that comes with a lot of cool stuff. And I kind of just wanted to show off the sounds it comes with and talk a little bit about some of my favorite ones. And you guys can judge for yourself if you think this is worth picking up. So the ARPs and sequences are really where this pack is at. It has so many great sounds. The first one I opened was Sequence Booty Bouncy, just because I had to know what this was. So it's a great demo of kind of what this pack is all about, is these kind of big festival types of electronic music, and it's really, really useful for that. Ping Pong is another really cool one. And as always, I mean, the sound quality of Falcon is just incredible, but it's a really cool pack because this Ping Pong one in particular, because it kind of shows off some other stuff that you can do with the effects that I didn't really think of, as well as just some clever use of other things, like just the tail end of a sample here on the drum oscillator to create this really nice plucking sound that really cuts through a mix very, very well. Smasher's a really cool one using the wavetables. And then, without diving into the Falcon end, just the info tab here is really, really nice to kind of mess around with stuff quickly and kind of create a variation on a sound that you can just insert and get to work with. So, in terms of bass, we get a lot of really cool sounds. And a lot of these are really thick and usable right out of the gate, which is cool because I find with stuff like Serum and a lot of other like expansions and sound banks and stuff, sometimes like it's an okay starting point, but you really kind of have to mess with it to get it to work. Whereas a lot of these sounds are really usable just right from the get-go. Deep Saw and Deep Sine are really great for just huge kind of sub sounds. And Deep Sine is just really nice all around. And especially because we can very, very quickly tweak this. And then we could get rid of the release, or just give it a little. And it's just a great pack all around just to really get started, because all the sounds are just great right from the get-go. So it's really fast and easy to kind of get into and start making something with it. And there's lots of really interesting ones. These koala things. Koala. These are really, really cool because they utilize a very, not necessarily super large number of oscillators, but a lot of stuff going on at the same time that really shows off that like Falcon can really get super interesting by just kind of going further with it than you would with anything else. And then the effects as well, again, really shows off just kind of a creative use of everything Falcon is capable of to make these really interesting sounds. The brass here, really, really nice. And I was using this earlier in a track I was kind of demoing out to see if I could use it by just taking the sound, bouncing it out to audio, and making those really big brass stabs. Except it was up higher like this. But really, really good all around. The chords are really cool, like this complete C minor one here. So I believe this is telling me that I should just use this in the key of C minor, but I'll just go ahead and demo it out here. So it's really, really great for these huge, wide open sounds. The bells as well are really nice. And back in the info tab here, we can tweak this out a little bit. Onto the drums here. This is really, really cool. This bounce dem preset is really, really amazing all around. And it was so cool to kind of open this up and look at how it was done with the wavetables here and the sample if we go down here into the list view. So it's built with a bunch of samples and then sequenced in a really, really cool way. If we go over here to the events and mods, there's just a whole lot of stuff going on, and it was really neat to see that Falcon is capable of doing this. And then you can just kind of disable certain things if you wanted, so we could get rid of the shakers and just leave snare roll and the hi-hat that's open, and get rid of some compression and add a high pass filter. Just shakers. Get rid of the snare roll and had closed hi-hats. Squeeze it together. Really, really cool, and it's really fun to kind of bounce these out to audio as well and just mess with them in a different way. Full house is really, really cool. But the cool thing is depending on where I play these, it'll move the song into that key. So that was really, really dope. Effects and risers are really, really cool. Fireworks. Really interesting one, especially with a bunch of reverb, and if we increase the gate here. Get a lot of cool stuff going on. Gyrofare. But the cool thing is we can open this up for automation and just kind of create our own risers. And add a filter. And that's the really cool part about this whole Spectre expansion, is just that I can start off with one of these and all I need to do is add automation for the stuff in the info tab and done. There's really nothing else to it. Keys. Piano Cinematic was a really, really cool sound I thought I would show off. I was messing with this earlier with a rotary and giant reverb and the more reverb here. And auto pan was up about here, and it creates this really interesting sound. And there's all sorts of other great stuff in here. The Rhodes. Really, really nice sounds. Pads, there weren't too many in here, which I was a little bit disappointed with. But, I mean, I don't really produce big, huge, loud stuff, so I guess maybe pads just aren't all that useful to people that produce that bigger festival-y style of stuff. The leads are really cool. The aggressive lead was really interesting. And again, with just a little bit of tweaking, you can make a pretty dope lead without too much worrying. Just tons of great leads all around in here. I can't really show all of them, but you could probably hear what I'm saying though when like I just instantly wanted to start making like big house songs. Plucks are really good. just lots of different sounds in here that are useful to kind of fill out a track. There was one in here, I believe it was Dream Pluck. Maybe not. Classic? I don't remember. But anyways, the point is I use this actually to make a snare in sort of a future bassy song. So I just use this to kind of create that tonal layer to the snare. Can't remember which one it was, but that was a really cool way to utilize this library because it, you know, like I said, there was not a whole lot of work for me to do on the sound. I could just bounce it out and use it and then, you know, fill out the rest of the track with other stuff from the Spectre library. Polysynths, I wanted to show these off because these are important. The aggressive lead poly here, really, really cool. And this is a great one for kind of huge super saws. It's just kind of like a layer to them. The burner 1 and 3 here were really cool as well. I believe these were designed to be used together, so I'll just kind of show one and then the other. So this kind of big, crazy sound, and it's really really greatly complemented by using this other one as another layer to it. So that one's pretty interesting. So overall, a really, really cool library if you're into that house stuff or big festival sounding trap or tons of other kind of like brighter, happier genres. And I really recommend this pack if you're into that. Otherwise, if you're like me and you're into the doom and gloom and sad, depressing side of things, maybe not the best library for that. However, there are a lot of really great sounds here that I've been able to use, especially like the bass section and some of the arpeggiated and sequence sounds. So that is my overview of Spectre. And that's it for this video, guys. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys again soon.